All right, this is edition 6 of Mantra Monday. Klaibyaṁ ma sma gamaḥ pārtha, naitat tvayy upapadyate, kṣudraм hṛdaya-daurbalyaṁ, tyaktvottiṣṭha, paran-tapa. So the word-for-word translation is as follows. Klaibyaṁ, impotence. Ma sma, do not. Gamaḥ, take to. Pṛthā, O son of Pṛthā. Na, never. Etat, this. Tvayi, unto you. Upapadyate, is befiting. Kṣudraм, petty. Hṛdaya, of the heart. Daurbalyam, weakness. Tyaktvā, giving up. Uttiṣṭha, get up. Param-tapa, O chastiser of the enemies. O son of Pṛthā, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. So, to put this in context, this verse is coming from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. And the Bhagavad Gita as it is actually a series of verses that have been divided up into chapters that fall in the middle of a great story called the Mahabharata. Maha means great, and Bharat refers to India, and it's a conversation. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between the Supreme and the Prince Arjuna. Arjuna was born in a royal family, and he had an incredible amount of responsibility, and one of the responsibilities that he had due to his nature, due to his station in life, was to be a kshatriya. Kshatriya literally means to protect from harm, and it refers to the part of the body, of the social body, that are the arms. So the social body, the arms, are there to protect the weak, to protect others, to protect those that cannot defend themselves. In its best sense, in its ideal sense, a kshatriya upholds the principles of dharma, upholds the principles of universal truths, and dedicates his or her life to protecting the weak. So Arjuna was not only a kshatriya, he was not only a member of a royal family, he was also a saintly person. He was also very learned in the ways of devotion, in the ways of bhakti. And he found himself in a very overwhelming situation where he was asked to defend the kingdom. As a matter of fact, he and his brothers and their wife had spent 14 years in exile, living in a forest, hiding, trying to avoid a conflict, living in extremely austere circumstances, wearing nothing but tree bark. Because the other side were hell-bent on getting everything they wanted by any means necessary. And I mean any means necessary. Any dirty, underhanded tricks that they could do, they were willing to do that and did do that. The people in general will suffer if they are subject to living under a regime, a ruler, who really has no sense of right and wrong and will literally do anything to get whatever riches, whatever resources that they feel is theirs out of greed. So Arjuna, being the opposite personality, found himself in a very difficult situation where he actually had to confront, again, relatives that were the embodiment of these lower qualities and were trying to usurp the kingdom and rule the world. So Arjuna gave a lot of different arguments as to why he shouldn't be engaged in this particular battle. He suggested that he just go back to the forest with his family and, live there. This was not a realistic proposition because the opposing side at that point would have chased them down and made them prisoners. In other words, it really wouldn't have improved their particular situation nor the situation of the citizenry in general. But still, because Arjuna was very soft-hearted, he became depressed and he became overwhelmed with grief. And it's described that he experienced different bodily symptoms. He began crying. He felt like he was burning up. He was trembling uncontrollably. He was overwhelmed, with sadness. And so in this situation, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, offered these words of encouragement to him to remind him of who he was, what his duty was, and that he was not alone, that he was more than capable of rising to the occasion, as overwhelming as the occasion might be and might seem. And that is because the Lord actually accompanies us wherever we go, regardless of the body that we have, regardless of the situation that we're in, whether we're young, whether we're middle-aged, whether we're older. Our Supreme Friend is always accompanying us in the heart and is always there as a guide. So there is that. In this particular situation, Bhagavan also happens to be riding on the same chariot and actually guiding the chariot for his friend Arjuna. A lot of analogies here to reinforce this idea that we're not alone on the battlefield of life, that we will be given the strength. There's actually another beautiful verse, another beautiful mantra, if you go into the 10th chapter, which is called the Opulences of the Absolute, where the Lord describes all the different things that he is. And one of the things that he says is that I am the ability in man, and I am the strength of the strong. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Namaste. I am Ekayani Music.